The playoffs are off to some start, and it's important to take a look back at the craziest game of the playoffs so far. Yeah, we're talking about Nets versus Celtics. It was a thriller, and we genuinely hope the series goes the distance, because the playoffs won't be fun without either of these two. And Kyrie, as expected, was at the center of it all.
But first, a reminder about our brand new giveaway. We're giving away a PS5 with a copy of NBA 2022 and Madden 22. All you have to do is watch the full video, leave a like, comment the keyword hidden in the video, and make sure you're subscribed. It's that simple.
First up, a dramatic end to a fantastic game. After a much evenly matched first half between the Brooklyn Nets and the Boston Celtics, the TD Garden erupted in the second, and it was insane. The Celtics were out of the blocks quickly in the third quarter of the game, and thanks to Jason Tatum, they managed to secure a 9-point lead by the end of the third. Tatum was putting on some show in front of the Boston crowd, and the Nets needed some inspiration. Look no further than Kyrie Irving, who was already enjoying a decent evening, but he stepped it up a notch and became totally unplayable as the Nets managed to cut the deficit early in the fourth. Despite having KD on the side, Kyrie was a one-man army, and he was dragging the Nets closer and closer to a stunning result. He wasn't done though, because he got the chance to score a three-pointer, and he took it with both hands, pulling the Nets into a lead with just a minute to play. The rowdy crowd at the arena fell silent, and Kyrie's sucker punch felt like the final say. However, this wasn't just an ordinary game, and with KD missing a three-pointer to secure a win, the Celtics pushed with seconds to go. Smart saw the opportunity and found Tatum running under the basket. Tatum's response was incredible as he scored the layup with the buzzer going milliseconds afterward. It was checked just to make sure, and Tatum's winner stood as TD Garden went wild. Next, TD Garden targets Kyrie. The Boston Celtics boast one of the most passionate fan bases in the NBA, and it comes as no surprise that Kyrie Irving faced the full brunt of their hatred during Game 1. After all, few people would know about TD Garden and the insane support of the crowd better than Kyrie himself, having spent 2 years with the franchise from 2017 to 2019. He wasn't exactly adored during his time with the Celtics because of his underwhelming performances, and the fans have kept a grudge against him, which only got worse when he left as a free agent to join the Nets. Irving's usually at the center of controversy, more recently after he decided not to take the COVID vaccine and missed many matches for the Brooklyn side. However, he's not one to shy away from the hatred and feeds on it, as the Boston fans would have seen during Game 1 when he produced a fantastic performance despite the hostile atmosphere. Irving was hitting jumpers after jumpers to the chants of "Kyrie sucks," and the antagonism of the crowd went up as he pulled his Nets side closer and closer to a win. Tough ending though, because his insane performance after scoring 39 points and having 8 assists wasn't enough after that Tatum winner late in the game. Next, Kyrie Irving's fighting fire with fire. Irving isn't somebody who backs out just because the crowd's tough. He did his talking on the pitch with his performances, and we can be sure that he'll also do the same in the games to come. But he also made sure the crowd knew how he felt about the chants as he flipped the Boston crowd a double bird behind his head. That wasn't all. He also flipped a single bird earlier in the game, and it was quickly apparent that Irving hates the Boston crowd. Well, who wouldn't? Kyrie had a tough time in Boston, and after having a decent start to his career with the Celtics, a knee injury was the reason his performance fell. The Celtics crowd didn't warm up to him, and on every return since joining the Nets, he is the center of controversy. We're sure though it doesn't affect his game, as we saw in Game 1, and he wouldn't mind taking a couple of fines if he has to flip off a few more fans during the series. Kyrie was visibly annoyed, and to be fair, a buzzer beater against your side can definitely contribute to it. He was in no mood when a fan yelled, "Kyrie, you suck," as Kyrie made his way towards the locker room at the end of the game, and he responded with an expletive that we probably can't say in our videos. If you're curious enough, it's the same one he used against a 76ers fan when he got fined $25,000 in 2017. Now, post-match reaction from Irving. Talking to the media after the game, Kyrie defended his actions, saying that he knows it's the playoffs and he expects to come up against that kind of reaction. He explained how he was ready to match that energy from the crowd, and that means we can expect a bit more of this rivalry as the Nets visit the KD Garden again on the 20th of April. Irving was of the view that sometimes there's a limit to what even the professionals can take, and in those situations, he's ready to give it back the way he did during Game 1. However, he also said it's the dark side, and you have to embrace it. It doesn't look like Irving lets these things get to his head, especially when you consider the kind of performance he put in. At the end of the day, the Boston fans might have to consider if all of this is worth it. Kyrie seems to be feeding on the hate and could result in an exit for the Celtics at the hands of the Nets for a second season running. Up next, 76ers take a 2-0 lead. The Philadelphia 76ers are looking better and better with every passing game. After a powerful show in the Game 1 versus the Raptors, the Sixers solidified their lead with another impressive win last night. Embiid had an off day by his own standards during the first game, despite putting on 19 points and 15 rebounds. This This time, though, he pulled no punches as he powered his side to another emphatic win with 31 points and 11 rebounds. He was largely helped by Maxey and Harris, and both seemed to be in great form going into the playoffs. Harden has been quietly making his mark on the game too, and managed to play more than 40 minutes. The Sixers would want to wrap up the series as soon as possible as they try to mount a championship challenge. The Raptors were unlucky, according to Stephen A. Smith, but they will need all the help they can get from the crowd in Toronto if they are to make an unlikely comeback in this series. Now, Mavericks win to tie the series. The Dallas Mavericks have been without their star Luka Doncic, who has enjoyed an incredible regular season. Despite his absence, the Mavericks put on a show for the Dallas crowd and managed to tie the series at 1-1 versus the Utah Jazz. It was an important result for the Mavs, as a 2-0 lead would have been difficult to overturn with Doncic's return. As for Utah, they'd been disappointed after blowing away a lead from the first half of the game. However, in Game 2, it seemed like the Mavs didn't miss Doncic, as Jalen Brunson put in a performance to remember. He racked up 41 points, along with 8 rebounds and 5 assists, and Doncic would be proud of that performance. This masterclass from Brunson put the Jazz under pressure early on, and they simply didn't recover once he took his game to the next level in the second half. With Doncic set to return soon, it seems like the Mavs have the upper hand going into the business end of the series. Next, Warriors crushed the Nuggets. Steph Curry played just over 20 minutes for the Warriors and somehow managed to end the game with 34 points, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds. Yet it wasn't only his performance that sunk the hearts of Jokic and company. Rather, it was a sublime attacking effort from Klay Thompson and Jordan Poole along with Steph. The trio was unplayable, and they took the game away from the Nuggets in the third quarter as they combined to put on 44 points. While the Warriors' attack is never under scrutiny, it's sacrificing the defense side that comes under fire when the trio plays. Yet they managed to neutralize Joker's threats completely, who looked off color like the rest of the Denver Nuggets side. The three-guard lineup asked too many questions of the Nuggets side that seemed out of their depth as the Warriors took a 2-0 lead in the series. The Nuggets will have to come up with a timely response in 3 days if they're to turn the tide, although it looks very unlikely. Their main hope was Steph missing the initial games, but it seems as if his contributions off the bench are more than enough too. That's a wrap for this video. Do you think Kyrie Irving's reaction was justified? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.